Hello, I'm Kerry. I practice and teach Vedic Astrology, which is an amazing and complicated navigational tool that I hope to make a little bit more simple for you. Today, we're going to focus on the week ahead. It is Sunday, April 20th, 2025. I have the charts up next to me so that you can take a look at them if that's your jam. Um, so I tried to do one last week, guys. Sorry. It was really great and it turned out I didn't my microphone wasn't working. So anyway, hopefully that's fixed this time. Anyway, so what you're looking at here is the chart of this morning, Sunday morning in Washington, D.C. I'm American, and so for better or for worse, I look at my country's capital as a touchstone. The same configuration will happen everywhere. It'll just be at a different time of day. So if you take a look, and just for an overview, okay, so today the moon has moved from Sagittarius into Capricorn. So the moon will be in Capricorn Sunday, Monday, and part of Tuesday, and it is waning. We had our full moon, and now the moon's getting a little smaller, a little every day, moving closer to the sun in the zodiac. You can see where the moon is today. It's been in empty signs. It's been kind of alone. So as soon as the moon moves into Capricorn on Sunday, that Mars will begin to aspect it. So when the moon is going through Capricorn and Aquarius, we're going to have that aspect of Mars on each of them. Jupiter will also aspect the moon once it's going through Capricorn. So Sunday and Monday, Tuesday, think about those days. Could be quite active and growth oriented based on the Mars and Jupiter aspect to the moon. Even though it's waning, we can still maybe get some of that growth that we hope for from Jupiter. So yes, when the moon is waning, it can feel like we feel a little tired. On the new moon, which is actually next Sunday, on April 27th, the moon will join the sun in Aries for the new moon. So when we have the moon waning, we can feel a little bit less energetic. So if that happens, just build in some more time for yourself to rejuvenate, get some sleep, etc. The other thing I want to point out is up here in this corner. And if you're a North Indian chart person, you can look down here. This is the sign of Pisces. This group is still very active in one sign. So we've got Venus and Saturn and Mercury and Rahu all in Pisces still. It will be that way all week. There's no major sign changes this week except for the moon. So that is it. But this group up in this little corner that you can see, notice how close in degrees Venus, Saturn, and Rahu are. This is a clump of planets. Honestly, this Rahu and Saturn conjunction that's gonna be completed this week, it kind of feels like we're at sea and we've got a sea monster trying to wrestle us down below. If that's what you're feeling like, it could be due to this Saturn Rahu conjunction. It feels a lot like a battle between what I want to do and what I can do. Saturn and Rahu. Saturn is very boundary oriented. He's practical. There's this, if you don't have the resources, you don't have the time, you don't have the money, you don't have the ability, how are you going to do your thing? That's what Saturn likes to tell us. Rahu just wants, though. He wants to innovate a way to get that thing. So it's a big week ahead for really going inside and figuring out like what is possible with what you want to do. Yeah, yeah. So, so good luck with that. The other thing is that Venus, you can see it at 1 degree 27, Saturn's at 2 degrees 32. Venus is moving forward and will move quickly. So pretty soon, Venus is going to move right up into that degree with Saturn and Rahu, all three of them. When two planets, not counting the sun and moon, not counting Rahu and Saturn, we have this thing called planetary war that happens when two planets try to sit in the same chair, basically. There's not enough space, but it's when two planets will occupy the same degree um, in the zodiac. There's different calculations and different rules, but for the most part, you can think of it as a wrestling match for the two planets competing for the same space. And if we're talking about the two planets being Venus and Saturn, and those two principles competing for the same space, it might be a week where we're really, really delving into the parameters of relationships, and the ones we're in. It can be a relationship with another person or with a workplace or just in general. But Venus wants to relate and connect. Saturn wants to maintain safety and boundaries. So if the theme of this week is figuring out where the boundaries lie in your relationships and how you need to adjust them, and if the relationship needs to go, or if certain parts of a dynamic need to be changed, it could be a really big theme this week with that planetary war between Saturn and Venus happening. Sun will remain in Aries. This is an exalted sun. It will reach the exaltation degree of about 10 degrees Aries this week. And yeah, so I want to click through day to day and just show you what's going to be going on. This chart that I have up here is Washington. You can see it's 7 a.m. So the ascendant house, we can somewhat disregard the houses, as we're just looking at the relationships of the planets. But the sun and the rising sun, I'm putting us at sunrise, basically. So each day at sunrise. So this is Sunday. I'm posting this video on Sunday, so this has already occurred. And I'm going to click forward a day. So this would be Monday morning, April 21st. You can see that the moon has gone to Capricorn. Overnight, it went into an opposition with Mars. The moon is getting closer to this grouping and closer to the sun. By next Sunday, it will be here with the sun in Aries. So, but that's Monday. Capricorn is a very practical sign. So Monday and Tuesday, we're going to have that moon in Capricorn, waning moon in Capricorn. So it could feel like, wow, I've got a lot to do and not so much time to do it, and feeling urgent. Maybe it is urgent. You have to do a lot of things. So just make sure that you plan your days. I mean, that's what Saturn likes. He likes schedules and sticking to them. So you probably can get a lot done Monday and Tuesday. Remember that the moon waning the energy is going to feel a little bit lower. And Monday, Tuesday with moon in Capricorn, you've got that Jupiter aspect as well to the moon. So it could be a good start to the week getting things done. This will be Tuesday morning. You can see the moon is at 26 degrees Capricorn. It's going to be finishing up its transit there and moving into Aquarius later in the day on Tuesday. It will remain in Mars's aspect once it gets there later on Tuesday. For your super geeky people, in the upper corner there, Rahu, which is the RA figure up there, you can notice that the underline went away. I'm showing us true node calculation on these videos because when we're looking day to day, it's kind of fun to see the days when Rahu is actually going direct. There are days when Rahu's a little wobbly routine and Ketu sends them into a direct motion and not retrograde. So check it out. All of those planets on that day are no underlines, all direct. Everybody's full steam ahead. And with, honestly, with the sun in Aries and all of those planets still in Pisces, we may feel divided. Like, yeah, the train has left the station. It's starting to go. Um, so if you're not on it already, finish up what you're doing. Let the stuff go that needs to stay behind and get going. I think the sun in Aries is really pushing a lot of us to just, ready or not, here I come, get going. So that's Tuesday. Tuesday is also Mars's day. You can see Mars is at 7:35 Cancer. Um, Getting a pretty direct aspect from Rahu, but that's lessening every day. That Rahu aspect to Mars has been kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. So that we'll start feeling that as this month ends and May comes on. So that is that for Tuesday. And then Wednesday, as you can see, Moon has gone to Aquarius fully. Rahu's still direct. Mars is still aspecting the moon. Moon is getting weaker and weaker. We think the moon is weaker when it gets closer to the sun. So this is Wednesday. Honestly, looks like a pretty good day for getting a lot of different things done. If you like, Tuesday's a good day to focus. Wednesday's a good day to accomplish a lot of things that maybe aren't connected to each other. So that might be a Wednesday advice for you. Thursday morning, Moon's still in Aquarius, Rahu's still direct. But look at Venus and Saturn and Rahu, the degrees up there in the left corner. They're all at the same degree. We round up and say, okay, they're all occupying the degree between 2 and 3 of Pisces. So this is the full-on war of Venus and Saturn is going on. Rahu doesn't really count as a war planet, but it sure does make it exciting. Man, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just think about it that way. Even into Saturday, like it may feel very hard to make decisions. There are too many options. There's too many difficult things to account for, this kind of thing. So with Rahu involved in this battle between relationship and boundaries and practicality, the one thing you can do is really dive in and say, okay, what do I want? Because it's hard to sometimes tell when all of these collective energy planets are together. You might be really thinking of the collective, like how does this affect everybody? All of these planets are that type of planet. So it's hard to know what you should do when you're thinking about how's it going to affect everybody. It's stressful. It's anxiety when you think of those things. So the best you can do is go inside and really think of what your desires are in whatever given situation, because ultimately you're going to have to pull it off and carry it out. And yeah, it's tough. It could be a hard week of feeling very pulled in a lot of different directions. So yeah, prepare for that. And this is Friday. Now the moon has joined the fray. So from Thursday to Friday, the moon is riding through that whole grouping in Pisces, the Rahu, Saturn, Venus clump. And then you can see also the underlines back. So by Friday morning, Rahu's retrograde again, moving back toward Aquarius, and the moon has passed through the whole thing. So Thursday night to Friday looks something like something might wash out. And again, we're still not at the new moon. The moon is still waning. On Friday, you can see that the moon is going to ride up onto and past Mercury. So both of the mind-related planets are in this grouping of what do I want? Who do I love? What can I do? It seems like a lot. It seems like even though there's not a lot of movement with the planets this week, this grouping in Pisces seems really big. So, what I would suggest you do is if you know your own horoscope, think about what is Pisces for you? What house does it make in your chart? Because this is the place where the real sticky situation is. And it's like the sun is in Aries, and that feels like the train has left the station and it is moving and the wheels are moving, and you got to go too. So there's almost a sense of urgency this week, um, with having a lot to do, packing. It feels like packing. Okay, so this is Friday. Moon will be in Pisces for Friday and Saturday. And then we'll slip into Aries Saturday night, making a new moon on Sunday, next Sunday. So Friday, with all of that energy in Pisces and the new moon, man, get by with a little help from your friends. That's what I would say. Take Friday night and be gentle, and I would say relax. Relaxing and doing something easy, fun, and entertaining sounds really great for Friday. And then next Saturday, April 26th, again, still the moon and Mercury and all of those planets still in Pisces. The moon has moved past Mercury and will shift into Aries on Saturday night into Sunday. So that is the week ahead. Overall, again, not a lot of big planet movements. It's more like a big planet party. All of those planets in the early degrees of Pisces, very interesting. So I hope this was helpful. I will come back next week and give you another shout, and I hope all is well. Thanks a lot for listening. Subscribe, share, and maybe I'll see you soon. All right, bye.